So you are saying that because they beat people, it's a trauma.
You're a survivor, not a victim. We're survivors.
No, wait.
Her.
Hold on. If they beat you for your family, you're a survivor. You
can see it.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Can We Talk? And on today's episode we have
Sureboy,
Billions,
Iski,
Jenina,
do.
Poison Ivy, haters.
Poison Ivy.
Yes.
says ISK.
Poison Ivy.
Okay, so today we're going to be talking about childhood trauma. Before we start, does anyone know anything about childhood trauma?
One time I fell and hit my head on the floor.
Before.
Childhood trauma.
I'm not sure that's what she meant. Like when
I was running one time, I fell and broke my feet.
Yes, please. I beg.
I fell and broke my feet. Hey.
Sureboy, you're so stupid. That's not what the trauma
Yeah, what the
means.
hell?
I was joking around. That's not what the trauma means. And I was following up.
No, more like you used to have bad dreams when you were small.
Huh?
no, I think it's what you experienced while growing up that wasn't really like positive and stuff.
Yeah.
See, my dad's school fees is not in.
Bro, sorry, wait. I didn't hear what she said. Please, like, what did she say?
I just did clap because say my guy
Say
clap.
it again now.
Basically, childhood trauma is what we've experienced while growing up that's negative.
Okay, as negative.
That's negative.
Oh, that's negative. Now, why on a clap for him? This is what we should talk. Now, they really meant to.
It's like this, your blood tonic is affecting you.
Now, so you're supposed to do now. Now, waiting the work. Now, the work now.
Okay, so childhood trauma, right? Childhood trauma is an event that happened during our childhood, right? That is emotionally painful and can have a physical or mental effect. I'm going to give like examples of what childhood trauma could be. So childhood trauma could be, for example, you saw your parents fight, or you experienced like an absent father or an absent mother, or you, for example, maybe you were into poverty, like you came deep from you came deep from poverty.
From the trenches.
Yeah.
Poverty, like in a relationship. I did business in poverty. What the hell?
All the crazy thing, all these things is listed there. One person will get all of them. I'm trying to imagine that person.
Okay, or you were sexually abused.
One photo. As in,
You could have, like, there are various things. It's not just one thing, but as long as it was emotionally painful, right? Those things are, and they came in when you were like a child. Those things are childhood traumas, right? And a lot of people. So, for example, if I ask you right now, do you guys think you have any childhood trauma?
Yeah, I do.
What do you think?
how,
do you
normally,
want to discuss it?
Normally,
Yeah.
you to get you need to get trauma.
Why?
You must have trauma.
You're the
Like
baba
the
of the trauma.
Which trauma? I tell you, I
I
don't
had
get
a
trauma.
traumatic childhood.
Your package.
Okay.
I grew up in like kind of like a violent home. I used to be like Chidera before, but I've calmed down.
Wait, I don't understand.
So
Wait,
yeah,
I don't
grew
understand.
up-
I used to be like who?
You know,
I don't know how.
gra.
Eh.
But yeah, I grew up experiencing a lot of violence at home.
You do boxing for your house.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Okay.
Is that why you're violent?
I'm not violent.
Did you even do your
Let's go.
Are you ready to?
Okay, does anyone else have like
Leave Daddy shaky. Let's talk. Let's talk.
Me, I don't know what dude is talking about. I'm not violent. I don't know what he saw. He has never seen me violent. So
does anyone else have like an experience you want to talk about?
I mean, my childhood wasn't like that too. I never even saw my parents argue self.
Yeah, I did.
My childhood was like soft as hell, man.
I grew up in a family where my mom loved my dad so much, you get. There were things that she would overlook. Because one thing about love, a lot of people don't like to understand this here, but in friendship, in everything, right, there are some things you would overlook because you love someone, right? So if it's not as strong as that, then there's no point, because really a lot of things are going wrong in many relationships because there's no love.
My childhood was like soft as hell, man. I just went to the streets by myself.
So what turned you into this?
Choice. It was just in me. Choice, my choice. I like how my life is. I don't give a fuck how you feel.
Drama.
Okay.
It's not even drama. I don't like drama. I just like to break people's head and just bounce.
Okay, so
I think there are two different things.
okay, so for example, a lot of people, like if we ask now, a lot of people may not realize that they've actually been in experienced childhood trauma.
No doubt. Yeah,
They wouldn't
true.
realize until maybe discussions have come into place. For example, maybe someone that had an uncle that used to like sexually abuse them. Yes, everyone already knows that definitely that's a childhood trauma. Yeah. But definitely, if maybe your father was hardly home, you knew he needed to work, but he came back by like 10 o'clock or 11 when you were sleeping. You never knew that could actually affect you because you needed the love of your father and he was absent to show that to you. Yeah. Or even your mom was not around to show that love that you needed as a child. That could actually be a trauma that you did not realize, oh, I needed that love as a child, right? So there are a lot of things. For example, like if you hear a lot of guys, they're like, oh, it's okay, I'm okay that my house help had sex with me when I was small. Like a lot of people are okay that experience happened.
Yeah, but
what
they are
if,
victims.
like my agreement?
Which
Agreement is agreement. Agreement is agreement.
You're a minor. It's abuse.
Who might not me?
You're a minor.
Who might
You're
not
a
me?
child.
Who might not me?
You're a
Who might not
child. A
me?
child cannot give
Who they want
consent.
broke?
Even if the minor was the one that made the advance, it's the job, it's the responsibility of the adult to turn the minor down.
I want
Abuse.
to. They tell me say they might not
It's
me.
abuse.
How would you know what that is at a young age?
Someone that said he won. That time when we dey go
You know
16
what?
in one day now. 16 in one blue film. 16 in one.
As long as a child experienced that, then
What's the
that's
child?
the
Explain the child. The child is from what age? What age?
0 to 16.
Yeah.
So that means people at the age of 17 up, they don't experience trauma.
They do.
no, they do.
No,
but it's
I'm
not
talking
childhood
about-
trauma.
See, let me tell you something. Even if you're 13, you get away you cut at 25. If you want cut, you want cut.
No.
Bad boy. As a boy, I'm not talking from a jello. I don't know about
Yes,
girls.
exactly.
But as a boy,
But
as a
these are
bad
the
boy.
things that you people say that boys cannot come out and talk about the shit that they go through.
It's not trauma. Person just talk about time, you talk on trauma. It's not.
No, okay. They are actually traumas.
Yeah, they're trauma.
They are not.
Because-
Don't force it. As in,
But someone is a fool. I said that this will happen in my own life.
no, I'm just saying, my guy.
No, but that one concern you see. If you like, believe me, or if you like, don't hear me. But if you are 13 and the girl is 22.
But I feel like
You're a
if you guys
victim.
like it now, yeah,
And
you
you
guys
want
think it's
God.
not.
What if you even woo the girl?
Na me who am. Na me who am. Na the person who am.
You guys, let's
Now the
hear, let's
person
hear,
want,
let's
not
hear.
me.
I do consider a minor having a sexual affair with an older person, be it their house help or whatever. I do consider that a traumatic experience and abuse of that minor. A 14-year-old cannot give consent to an older person regardless of if they initiated the relationship. So that's definitely a traumatic experience.
That means you must have been open to
Thank you. What made you
dysfunction.
woo her at that
You don't
age?
want 16 in one tire now. We want practice in real life.
So no, maybe the trauma is from the 16 in one, not.
We don't go on of our guys. You see 16 in one now. No, they do like saying no 16 in
You-
one. Relax.
You were exposed
bring
to
your phone,
something
check
that
your-
you
your
shouldn't
safari
have
history.
that has brought about that
There's nothing in safari.
sexual desire at such a
what
young
we do.
age.
So the trauma, basically, from what I can understand, you said we're exposed to something that we're not supposed to be exposed to. That means the trauma there is either being exposed or the, what do you call it? The act itself,
Agreement is agreement.
not the agreement, because you knew what you were going for. Do you understand my point? Yeah.
What pushed you at a young age to want to do that or want to agree to that?
We already said you were exposed to something.
That exposure is already part of the trauma.
So that is the trauma, not
Yeah.
the.
That one too is still the trauma. It is, whether you agree or not. If you're a child and you're having an affair with an adult, that's wrong.
I don't know about them, Shada had it. I'm just in for the fact that he agreed, he knew what he was doing. That's my point.
No.
At the end of the day, that's the effect of the trauma.
Yes.
Do you get
so the trauma?
Okay, like for example, let me give like different effects. So many people think, I had childhood trauma, right? Okay, they finally accept that they had trauma, right? Okay. But they don't think it is affecting them now. They just think they moved past it. Okay, my father was not around, so but you have daddy issues.
Yeah. Let me say something here. Now I have a problem with this one. The person said he's not experiencing trauma, like as in it's not affecting him, right? Don't force it and
No, force it the trauma.
That's
No one can just claim trauma like that. It's advisable to go to meet like a licensed therapist, for example. Let them actually tell you, okay, I think you have this certain trauma, I think you need to work on. Because like one thing that really sorry to use the word, I'll say triggers me, is when people just come out and say, oh, I have depression. How do you know you have depression? Have you actually gone to a psychologist? Have you gone to a therapist and they diagnosed you with depression? Or you're just waking up, reading the internet and saying you have depression? And that's the same thing for trauma. How exactly? Yes, you may know that a certain event triggers you, but until you've been able to actually speak to a licensed therapist, for example, how do you know what kind of trauma that is, and how do you know how to work with that?
No, how do you know that this thing is actually affecting this person? When the person says I'm okay,
it's not you that will say it. You
how? I don't understand. I'm the one that knows myself.
You don't know.
Yeah, there's a difference between forcing and actually denying.
That what the
like
girls
people
are
are in
saying.
denial.
And then the boys are just capping.
you smoke something before you came here. You have to be something.
I feel like Ivy's heart is too tight on her head. The way she dey think, bro, wait till she just talk now, I beg.
Let's say her trauma never leave her body.
Okay, let me give an example, if we can put it so that we see and we understand. So for example, someone that every single partner that they get is an abusive partner, right? Or someone that is emotionally unavailable. Let's use emotionally unavailable, because if you say abusive, everybody will say there's something wrong. Yeah. You meet every partner is emotionally unavailable. Okay. Do you really
like
think...
you're talking about that toxic shit? Like that toxic shit?
Yeah.
Okay. I fuck with that.
Do you really think that there's no issue, or there's something that they are trying to address? Do you think there's no trauma, like everything was just okay and they just seem to attract emotion?
No, but shall be honest. Shall be honest. Let me tell you why it's not trauma here. Some people come from a home where I just said now, like my parents, I never saw my parents argue one day. Literally, never. It was always vibes. Me, I like.
Yeah, but that means you got it from somewhere else, or you saw it from somewhere else.
It might just be like, growing up, like watching movies and stuff.
You see,
every movie you see, you're going to see love.
That means trauma came from the movie.
Yeah, that's why it's called trauma. Trauma is from anything.
Anything.
Yeah.
I think it's what suits you personally. Like if I'm dating somebody, if I'm dating,
because
wait, chill, hold on, let me say something. If I'm dating somebody now, personally for me, I don't like all that whole lovey-dovey shit. There's no argument. Just
so you are emotionally unavailable.
Basically, I'm dating a swagbe.
But you're emotionally unavailable.
No, that's emotionally.
You're just speaking the long term of
it. Look, so what I'm saying, yeah. What I'm saying is, I'm dating somebody. That whole lovey-dovey shit you guys are doing. It doesn't mean that I don't want it. I can do it as well. But it cannot be every time.
Yeah,
let there be small argument.
Or you're not used to that lovey-dovey stuff. You're not used to the lovey-dovey stuff.
It's not about being used to lovey-dovey stuff. I just don't want it. It's boring to me.
Okay, let me.
Even if I had it right now, I might fuck it up because that's not what I want.
It's trauma.
It's not trauma. It's just what I want. I'm not traumatized.
Alright.
You're in the denial stage. You're not in denial.
Like, it's actually very crazy.
I am not traumatized. You guys are pushing me.
I swear, like
just say. It's not like saying, this guy had sex with his family friend. She was 21, he was 14. And all of a sudden, they did not molest me, my sister.
Don't say that.
My sister, I need to stand. At 14, I toasted her. Leave it. I bust her bululu.
At 14.
Yes. Air flows.
Sorry, I want to address something. So for example, you're just really pointing it to, okay, maybe I didn't see my parents argue. But childhood trauma could come from various things. Like I said, it could come from discrimination. Yeah. It could come from you just felt, yes, thank you. That's perfect.
Yes. They do that way, like if you're not having certain grade,
yes, treating you a certain type of way. So childhood trauma could come from various things. It's not just one thing.
In school now. No, that means so if you go low, they treat you the same with
Now they talk for this place now.
No, you're not supposed to. There's been. Sorry.
But wait. I bust my head for you.
I want to say something. There's been a study done, right? And they realized that when they made the teachers believe that these students had the potential to pass, right? And they told these teachers that just encourage the students that they have the potential to pass. And these teachers brought out the gave extra work and everything. And at the end of the semester, they were able to see that these students actually could pass. So if you're able to, or if you discriminated and pushed some children aside, how do you know if they can do well or not? And that is what is sad, but the truth is that's what, for example, in a lot of Africa, maybe Nigeria for example, they do that a lot to people, and people feel like they cannot really do something. I'm not good to anything, my teacher has already pushed me to this side. They don't even know that they have potential to do something.
You're useless.
No, I beg. Wait. This whole thing, there's something called, make I begin to speak my own English now. There's something called segmentation. Do you understand? Now, when it comes to people that are smart in school, you can't mix them with the Dundees that are not ready for school.
No,
hold on. Let me land.
You don't do this not that smart in school. You're not that smart in school, but
wait, let me land here. Imagine like if I was like in my high school now, I was a very playful person. I today play. I don't want to read book. I don't want to study. Now there are people that want to actually study, and you mix me up with those kind of people.
Yeah,
I could
fuck
influence
up for them. Yeah.
Now this is what you do. Yeah, this is what you do. I took note of what she said. You can follow them up, but follow them up as a bunch of idiots.
To be honest, I don't agree with that, because it's like you're saying, because no one, even if you're a dumb, does not mean you don't want to go to school or anything. Literally, you can literally not be smart, but you need someone to push you.
Yes, but in a different.
People that are smart, people that are smart were pushed by people, either their parents or motivated or inspired by people.
Those people are
there. If you're not that smart, that means you don't have anyone motivating you.
Listen, I said motivate them together. Do you understand? As a group of people, like as their own, let's say, okay, this person is not really doing well in school. This person is not really doing well in school. This one is not really doing well in school. What? You put them together, yeah, and maybe do extra. You cannot put them in the same class as other people.
You can't put them in the same class, but at least you can help them to bring them up
help
to
them.
That. Yeah.
But don't mix them with the ones that
that's what I was going to say.
Are serious.
But you do know that you know there's something like healthy competition. Putting them, to be honest, in the same
when
place,
they never even reach.
Just like
you don't know. That's the
I want to give a real life example that happened. Okay. So for a period of time, I decided to like teach in a school, right, with young children, and there's this boy, he was just so lackadaistic, he was so noisy, and he just didn't do well.
So you used to be a teacher?
Yeah, I was a teacher once. And he just didn't do well.
You flogged him?
And he just didn't do well. And one day I just called him and I was like, you know what you're going to do? You're going to like take attendance every time they submit the work, because I know you're so good. So anytime like it's time for assignments, you're going to be the ones to carry the assignment. After every test, you're the one that's going to carry their papers because you're the best. Do you get? That guy was the first in my course.
Okay, now sorry, let me just ask her a question based on what she said. Yeah, you say something.
That guy
now with what you did now,
never knew Dundee before.
That was a good thing.
Oh, you should have been give for myself.
But with what you
nothing way you want to do to him.
With what you did, did you take that person? Did you tell him, okay, come and be friends with Francis, that is first in the class? Yeah, two of you will be working together.
Francis will depreciate.
Do you understand what I mean?
It can work both ways. But yes, I understand what he's saying, in the sense that if you put kids that are not ready to learn, right, that's now the ones that are dumb in quotes, you get. If you put them together, it's very possible that they're going to reduce the performance of the smart kid most times. It could also be the other way. You understand? So like I said, it's 50-50. The primary school I attended, right, I think they had A to D or so. The smartest kids were in A. The next set B, just like that. And if you were in D, you know what that means. You get. Now, I feel like for documentation, right, it's easy, yes. If they were going to send out kids to do whatever they call it, competitions and different stuff, yeah, essay writing and all that, it's very easy. You know the class to pick people from. Do you understand? If you walk your way through it, yeah, no problem. Now, I mean, the world we're in, they are saying, oh, don't categorize them, put all of them together, don't grade. To be honest with you, I feel like give accolades to those people that deserve it still. There's not.
Yeah, that's exactly what I mean.
I believe they're different approach, exactly. But at the same time, don't make one feel bad or less. Because, for example, because when you bring like 3 people that are not smart together, they don't know why you're bringing them together. Yes. They know that's that because they're not smart.
Okay, wait. Can I say something? No. Wait, let me just say something. I've been trying to say something since, right? So I heard something that right now, I don't know how true that is, but I heard that right now they don't grade students again. They just want all of them to know that they are good. The same kind of thing you're saying, right? Should I be honest with you, right?
Don't grade me, I go vex.
Let's be very honest. If someone is good, compliment them. If someone isn't good enough, make them encourage them, motivate them to reach that stage. I'm not saying call anybody olodo, call anybody dumb or all that. No. But don't say that everybody we're all in the same class. Albert Einstein and George Bush.
People that are not doing well in school, the reason why you cannot just motivate them. Some of them, this guy is not doing well in school. But the guy is not ready.
No.
Yes. Those are the people that they call. Those are the people that they call Olodo.
Let me give you an example.
It's those ones they call Olodo.
In high school,
They just want to play.
In high school, I had this further math teacher, and he only liked one student because he felt like that student was smartest and treated everybody else less.
Was that student the smartest?
To be honest,
Was he the smartest?
No, that's
the truth.
No.
How many times that guy carried best in further math?
I don't think anyone is smarter than anybody.
How many times that guy carried best in further math?
You don't think anyone is smarter than anyone?
Why you say that?
No. Yeah,
you just need to learn. That's it.
And number 2, to be honest, I'll not lie to you. That thing that the teacher did made students not even want to pay attention in class.
No doubt. Yes, no doubt. The teacher messed up, but you cannot tell me that everybody is the same. Some people have disability; they cannot focus.
Do you like this? Let me see. Do you like this? All fingers are not equal. Don't say that shit again.
Okay, but doesn't mean that anybody is better than anybody.
It's not like saying what you just said now. You just basically said nobody's rich, nobody's poor. We are all the same. Don't buy the same thing that go to buy.
Basically, I will listen now.
Yes, now. What do you mean by? Do you what you just said now? Riches are acquired. When you read your book, when you read your book, study and excel. What do you do? You acquire knowledge.
Can acquire knowledge.
You acquire knowledge. What are you saying? What are you saying?
But thank you. Anybody can acquire knowledge. You know that. We learn things
every day as well.
No.
But do you know
knowledge? You learn knowledge in anything, basically, but not riches.
How do you do? It's not effort you put in. Your time and effort to acquire knowledge. How do people acquire what? It's not time, knowledge.
Let me point this out, right? In the same classroom all of us are in, right? There are some people that they come to class, they hear teacher teach, they understand it, they go back. Wait, now let me finish. Right? They go back home, they don't study. They are playing game back to back.
Because you have photographic memory.
Now you're speaking. That's why everybody's not the same. That's my point now, right? You will go back home, you will study. Now you day library, you are drinking coffee, drinking alcohol, everything so that you will be awake. And you will still fail. You now open mouth and say everybody's the same. Come on now. Get out from this place.
The same opportunity, everybody cannot act. You can't reach in the same way.
Because nobody's the same. That's why they have people that have photogenic memory. Yes. They have people that have that crammers. Like me in high school now, the only reason I was passing exams or anything was because I used to play.
Yeah, you were passing exams.
I was passing exams. If I bring out my result here, let's put.
No, way back. Me, I'm not gonna lie. I know they pass.
I was joking. I was joking. I know that you are A1 student.
I bring out. No, I'm not joking. Look, I'm very, very serious here. I put all my money down. Just put the list you have. Bring out all my results from high school. You didn't pass me one time.
Who, me?
Especially physics. I can put it on it. Especially physics. You didn't pass me once. All anybody from my high school, have their own best in physics was. So shut up and stop talking.
As he said, nobody can beat him in physics. Me, I know in secondary school I wasn't that good in physics. So I'm not even going to test. If he's good in physics, he's good in physics. If he didn't talk, say in there.
Okay. Now back to the matter of what I'm saying here. See what I'm saying? Because school got tiring. Fuck school. It got tiring for me. I lost interest. Fuck it. But let me tell you what I'm saying here. People have photogenic memory. Somebody can sit down right now, read something and get it. In high school, I didn't like to read. Some people used to jot down in class. I used to jot down in class. I didn't need to listen. I just jot down in class and go back home. When it was time for exam, all I needed to do to write an exam was cram what I jotted down in class. Yeah. Finish and write the exam.
That
you know what I said? I said cram.
The point is
cram it.
The fact that
I was good at cramming. Some people are good at reading and understanding. I didn't read to understand. I just crammed to write an exam.
Yeah. exactly. The point that everybody exactly
learning than the other person.
Yeah.
So because I'm cramming, doesn't
mean anybody should be treated
less. Answer the question.
Now
answer the question because I was cramming to write an exam. Because I was cramming to
people that have eye problem, people that have dyslexia, people that have
because I was cramming to write an exam. Let me ask you a question. Can you hear me answer this question? Because I was cramming to write an exam in school. Does it mean I'm smarter than someone that
you are not even learning? I'm sorry.
I was even learning.
No.
I was playing around with it. I was just good at cramming, putting everything in my head, going to the exam hall and dropping back.
So many people that think they're smarter because they cram things are not actually smarter than.
Yeah, one argument right now is everybody is not the same. Let's agree on that. Then we can move.
Everybody is not the same. Facts. It doesn't mean that you should treat people less.
And it doesn't mean somebody is smarter than the other.
But the person that takes first, give them accolades. That is my own.
You can give accolades, but don't disrespect another person. Don't disrespect another person that is less.
You guys, the same people that are saying that nobody is the same. You see, you guys are still stand up and say, "Oh, I'm not that guy. It's not me. I'm myself. He's himself." Look,
that's indifferent.
Nobody is the same when it comes to book, school, finish. In this life, nobody is the same.
Okay, so let's go back to childhood trauma.
Thank you.
So,
well, our parents used to compare us.
No, you guys do not actually have better
is that
trauma.
I know it's wrong, yeah, but basically those things you can't tell me that those things used to motivate us in that way. I mean, I'm coming back to childhood trauma. Imagine like, okay, you were not ready to study in school and everything, and then your parents see you come back with 22 out of 30 in the class, and they are telling you, you and Francis will not get the same head, you know, that kind of thing.
No, I don't think it's okay for parents to compare kids intellectually, because I feel like, first of all, it brings like low-key envy, anger, hatred, and discrimination, which I feel like shouldn't be there, especially in the mix of siblings. So I don't like it. I feel like that's what I experienced growing up, and that made me a bit fucked up.
Oblivion.
If you're not ready to study, my guy, see my secondary
school, ready.
Probably my sister will see this video or something. My secondary school, I used to do well. I didn't have time, but I just graduated with high honors. Yeah, true. Do you understand? Yeah, so there's no time. If you don't have time, to study,
no, you have your effort now. You put your effort into something. Anybody. You're telling me acquiring knowledge. Acquiring knowledge is effort you put into.
You cannot force
even today, if I sat down back and said, "Oh, I want to go back to this and I want to live the life I live now. I want to stop drinking. I want to stop doing all. I want to just focus on reading and writing exams." What you going to see? You're putting effort into something. You're going to get results.
No, that means a lot of students are not putting effort into.
Yes.
Okay. They're just reading and passing. And
let's go.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Some people, do you know that? See, in this life that you came to here, in this life you came to, and some people, no matter how hard you read, no matter what you study, you see those people, they'll come out first. They'll come out first. Yes. They'll come out best in the class. You can never.
Those people that get 99.5 and they're angry. You get
99.5, you get 7 happy. What?
Back to.
Our friends let's get in high school 100 exam, you get 100. What?
Okay.
Midterm exam 100, exam 100, assignment 100. Can't tell you you're not smarter than him. You're not the same.
Okay, Chidera.
Tell me how people are everybody.
So
how do
you think?
Every time they flog me for secondary school, say we are the same.
Okay, Chidera, how do you think childhood trauma has affected you?
I don't get trauma. Was I beaten as a child? Yeah, I mean, I think every kid, like every Nigerian kid was beaten as a child. But then, like, I wasn't beaten like. There are two types of beating I've seen. I've seen beating where, like, they beat up this kid and, like, that one, you know, your parents hate you. They beat you up on the street. And I've seen beating where, like, your mother carried you for 9 months and she's beating you because she's trying to correct you, which is normal. So they beat me like they were trying to correct me. I mean, then when I was younger, I didn't like it. I felt like, yeah. But growing up now, it helped me to like some certain extent in my life. Like, but then beating to works in different ways. Like, sometimes when they beat you a lot, you might do what you want to do, because you know when you get home, they will just beat you. So you just take the beating like that, but you're still going to do what you want to do.
If they flog you as a child,
I don't have trauma.
You have trauma.
They flog me as a child, discipline.
Wait, if I say my eye, they pay me. Wait till this babe talk.
Parents flog me as a child,
flogging is not discipline. Beverly is looking at me like this. Discipline. If they flog you as a child, that's abuse.
Come on, seriously, Ivy. Seriously. Did you literally just say that?
It's people like you that are raising useless children. Discipline.
Let's go back to
Finish.
Right. Anything that
What do you
was
mean?
emotionally painful.
I grew up and I understood that.
Wait, what?
Finish.
Go ahead.
Finish.
Anything that was emotionally painful, right, during your childhood, right, can have a physical or mental effect.
Hell no. Spread the road and spoil the child. Your child is stupid, you beat stupidity out of him. That's how life goes.
You cannot have things go your way.
It's the definition.
Yeah.
So let's use that.
Then they should remove it from the dictionary because it doesn't make any sense.
Why?
Why
do you think
something that's in the Bible says spread the road and spoil the child?
I'm not talking about just flogging.
Listen.
I'm not talking about just flogging. I'm talking about different childhood trauma.
I know why you're like this. Your parents didn't beat you enough. I don't know though, but beating isn't bad to me though. Beating is very, very okay. No, like not extreme beating, normal beat as in slap at the back, you skin, like 5, 6, 7 strokes, kneel down there, raise up your hand. Or doing dumb shit, man. I know why you're like this. Your parents didn't beat you enough.
See, should be honest?
They beat you.
Wait,
No, they didn't beat me more. They beat me when I was wrong.
Yes.
Should I be honest with you?
Okay,
my parents didn't beat me that much.
Okay.
I swear.
Let's move.
When I was wrong, they beat me.
Let's move.
And I got to understand I was wrong.
Let's move from beating.
Well, what did the beating do? Look, they are still violent.
Wow. You're not going to say I'm still violent. Everybody has their own character or their fucking behaviors. Everybody has how they
But the
behave.
beating did not change.
I'm still violent. Doesn't mean you're not violent.
No. Okay, sorry that I said that.
No.
The beating did not change.
I agree.
The beating did not change.
I agree. I am violent. Are you violent?
I'm not.
Okay. You're not. You're not violent. Are you sure?
Yes, now.
You're sure you're not violent? Do you know how many times you told people here that you slap them?
Me.
Here today.
It's not like I'm putting you in a difficult position right now, but as a child, let's say you're 13 and you're in church, they press BlackBerry for church. You're chatting. Wait. Let me laugh.
Listen to him.
Now, let's say your mom has always been telling you, stop chatting in church or something. Every time you're on your phone, stop. And then one day you're just in church, and then she comes, pinches your ear. Or they slap you because she has been telling you to stop this thing. Yeah, and then you did not stop it. You're 13.
Yeah, but
wait,
you know,
no,
We let her answer.
Do something wrong.
Wait. You're doing something wrong. You're pushing her to that point, and then that slap now, it go register.
I don't consider that.
Because wait,
Yes.
because
This one.
I don't consider that trauma.
Okay. So let's move from that. Let's give an instance, right?
Yeah.
Let's talk about people in relationships now, right?
Yeah.
How has childhood trauma affected them?
me, I don't get relationship.
I don't get
I'm not in a relationship. I don't have trauma.
Relationship can mean friendship, right? Any kind of relationship. How has childhood trauma affected people in relationships?
I don't do relationship. I cannot answer.
Okay,
Sorry.
so I would explain.
Yeah.
Right. So, for example, someone that maybe did not get the adequate, because, for example, a parent can think I have loved my child to the extent I believe I can, but the child believes I didn't get the proper love that I would have wanted from my father, or I didn't get the proper love that I would have wanted from my mother, right? And then they have that trauma that they come into relationships and they expect their partner to provide that love that their father or mother did not give.
That's my ex. This explains it. Oh shit. So you could have told me now. You could have told me. I could have done better.
Do you get? And
We lock the blood clot. I'm gonna write that one down. I'm gonna write it down.
this is trauma. Or another one is attachment styles, right?
Attachment style.
Attachment. I
What a style.
the hair doesn't think like.
Another one. I even think another one.
attachment styles, right? So, for example, there's what they call the anxious attachment style.
What's anxious attachment style? Please,
Thank
could you
you.
explain?
So the anxious attachment style is when someone, for example, you want a relationship, but you're scared about it. You're like, nah, I don't think this love thing is for me. Someone is.
But that one is just an ashawu.
No.
An ashawu.
No, they are different.
All those girls are ashawu.
No, they are different attachment styles. So what happens is, right? They like you, right? When they realize that you're liking them back, they're like, nah, this is okay. I don't want it.
No, that one. I normally call it evil spirits.
No, this is anxious.
Okay,
No,
I'll be honest,
it's just the trauma someone has been through.
Shall I be honest with you though? Like, I don't say the whole relationship with you. Well, like 2 of my relationships, when I see that, you know, they talk about our children.
Exactly, you are going far.
You're not talking about what it will look like when we get married. Or in fact, let's move in together.
It's a bit
love don't they go.
It's a bit of a sticky one.
Love don't they go. That one.
You get me?
Then you realize that you have the anxious attachment.
I don't love you enough for that. Finish. Don't start talking about our marriage and our children and our future. I'll just leave you in the relationship. Because now you're being too forward. Now I'll start suspecting you for being a thief or an but you're moving forward. Okay, that's wrong. But I'll start suspecting you for being wrong. Because which one is that we just started dating 2 months, then you talk about my child's nose. Which child? I didn't say you carry belly for this life. That's my explanation for it. I don't love you.
I have a question after you anyway.
Can I say something, yeah? Do we agree that everything is in stages, right? Now, I might be with you, right? And yes, you're doing everything right. You're being all proper and all right? But if I'm not seeing myself be with you, right? It could change. Don't get it twisted. Like I said, everything's in stages, right? And you now start talking about marriage. And let's see, I'm just saying 3 months in. You're talking about marriage, talking about how the wedding, the kids will look like, what names. Like, you're already scaring me. I'm trying to do something. You know what I'm
That's my first beep.
Okay, I get you, but I want to explain something first.
Okay.
There are 4 attachment styles. Everyone is not, I don't have. Everyone has an attachment style, right? And
relax now. See, that's just I have.
And most of these attachment styles,
you guys now.
These attachment styles are gotten from childhood, right? It's mostly how you interacted with your parents or your primary caregiver,
or even your past relationships as well.
No, it starts from childhood.
Yeah, it could start from your past relationship.
Yeah, no, mine low-key started from my past relationship.
I don't know about. I don't have any trauma. I don't have any trauma, but mine was like from like my old relationship. I guess
wait,
one of my first relationships. Okay. I just feel like I can love you, yeah. I'm not going to show how much I love you. Just forget it.
Okay. Let me explain.
Just forget about
let me explain the 4 first.
Even if you break up right now, I feel like dying.
If he breaks up, to be honest, yeah, maybe because I know him, I kind of understood where he's coming from. You get, he's someone that he would not show that emotion. That's what I feel like he was trying to say. You get, so he would rather die than show that feeling that or that emotion that I feel some type of way or I'm down because of this babe. So yeah. I mean, that's what he likes. That's what floats his boat. So, you get me?
Okay,
I'd rather just die.
Okay, let me explain the 4 first.
Yeah,
right?
Explain.
So first, every attachment style starts from when you're a child, right? So there's this. Let me start with the secure attachment. The secure attachment is, for example, your parents showed you the adequate love that you wanted, right?
Me too. Yeah, that's why
your parents showed you the adequate love that you wanted, right? So you're able to give the adequate, like for example, if someone comes to you with the type of love you want, you don't run away. Yeah. Right? You don't run away. You're open to communicating. You don't, someone comes and say, what's the problem? You say, I don't feel like talking. You're open to communicating, right? Then another thing is, you also can set and maintain healthy boundaries, right? A secure attachment
is me though.
And for example, children can start up with secure attachment and it can change.
Yeah.
Yes, I would consider myself a securely attached man because according to the different styles, she said, I was the one I could relate to.
Right. Then the anxious attachment. The anxious attachment, you want love, Sha, because everybody wants maybe love. Yeah. But when they come with it, you're like, this one is not for me. Yeah. And when you realize that they're not loving you again, you're like, oh, where are you? I miss you.
Yeah.
Do you get it?
Oh shit!
I can see that some of us, it tickle our fancy. You get me?
I mean, some things I heard today, like, open my eyes to some things I didn't know about, so I'm not going to say I was unintelligent about situations. I just dealt with situations my own way.
It's okay. Flashbacks. Shine.
And for example, they want to. For example, they want to. Maybe I
can't relate though.
They're having issues, right? And they're like, let's discuss it. You're like, nah, I'm out. Anxious attachment, they ghost. They know how to ghost.
We can talk about it later.
They know how to ghost.
Sorry. Is it possible to have 2 at once?
I'm going. Can I say something before you continue? I feel like I always say this thing. Like, I want the type of love my mother gave me. Like, if I can't get out of love, like, why am I in this relationship? like which one is that you love me?
You just create another style. Just no,
but that should explain the adequate. Like you just said it now. Is that not adequate? Whatever you just said. The first one he said. No. What's the first one he said? You can't love your parents give you. And your parents loved you enough. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like, I feel like every time I see a girl or I meet a girl, I'm like, this girl doesn't really love me like that. I'm suspecting her every move.
Okay.
Like I'm sorry, like my mother will not do like this with me.
Okay.
Why is this babe acting funny?
Let me. Funny. I don't think you can receive a parental love from a partner. That's different. How your parents love you is different from how your partner is supposed to love you. I don't think it's fair to even expect that, regardless of gender. A girl saying that they want a man to love them like their father, or a guy saying they want a girl to love them like their mother. That is very unfair. Those are just unrealistic expectations. Your partner is going to love you like a partner, and your parents are going to love you like parents, and they are different.
Let me go to the next one. There's one they call dismissive, fearful attachment style. Fearful avoidant attachment style.
What's
right?
that one?
I want to be like Karate.
You want love, right? But you're scared of it. You're scared that this person may not love me the way I want to be loved.
That's me.
You're scared.
Now 3 you don't get now.
Relax. Beverly's on 4.
No, I need someone.
Beverly's on 4. Beverly's dead ass on 4.
You're scared that this
so
person.
How you know you're not chasing out people that are meant to be like show you the world?
Yeah, I know I chased because of the fear that I have, because of the trauma. Yeah. What a wow.
But I'll be honest, I don't think I've chased anybody away that's meant to show me the world.
But you don't know that.
I know.
You wouldn't really, to be honest.
I know. After some time, I found out that.
No, I feel like.
No, after some time, hold on. After some time, I'll be honest. Maybe it's my bad decision when it comes to women. Maybe I do have bad decision when it comes to women.
Or maybe just
after
what
some
you're
time,
used to.
Probably. But after some time, I just found out that like this person actually liked or cared about. This person is actually just a fucking idiot.
Nah, ISK is a crazy guy. I swear to God.
Like. Sometimes I just think about it. I sit on my bed. I'm like, I was actually dating a fool.
Surely.
Not because I might probably be a fool too, but this person might be a fool as well too.
Maybe the person didn't give you that love that you claim. You know, you said you.
No. Sometimes I've been with people where like they really give me love. Like, I'm not joking. Shout out to some of my exes.
They give you that love your mom gave you.
Oh, I might not need that one, but they gave me enough love. They cared about me. They were there for me. That's enough. Yeah, do you get me? It's just like, let me say now, my guys now. When it comes to my niggas now. I always say, bros over hoes. I'm never going to pick. If you say you're my wife, I've taken it to the altar. My babe, I'm not going to really take your side over my guys. Like,
wow.
Wait, pause first. This girl they talk, wow. You be ambulance. Hey, God. Wow. Okay.
Don't play like that.
I
don't give a fuck. I'm dead at saying it. I'm dead at saying it here. Dead as I'm serious. Me and Shop, look, there's some things that me and Shop are friends go way back. There's some things he knows what I'm talking about. He has done for me personally on a deal that nobody knows about. I'm not going to start dating you now, start fucking you now. I one day have a problem with Sureboy and you come and whisper nonsense. I'll first tell you to shut up first. I'll first tell you to shut. I'll get us shut the fuck up. That's my guy. Until I call him and talk to him. No, I'm seriously. He knows what I'm talking about. Until I call him and talk to him, then you're saying jargons. Now if he's dude on the other hand, I will change it for him. Because I know that, like, you get me, I'll suspect that he did something.
I will release your track, don't worry. They fuck up. If I don't get something, I will release your track.
Nah, dude, my guy, nice one. I see what you did there.
But like, you cannot come and meet you when it comes to relationships like that. Just like, I don't think I've ever loved any. Okay, now I've loved it. So,
okay, let's finish.
Love is a strong word.
Let's finish the.
Love is a strong word.
The two.
Has somebody ever told you they love you before and you just want to run? Yes, now.
Okay, let's finish.
Just want to.
So the fearful avoidance, right? That's dismissive. Has a little bit with the anxious. Sorry, has a little with the avoidance.
I'm so sorry I'm cutting. I want to ask you a question.
No problem.
All these things you're talking about here, is it coming straight from your brain?
Yes.
From your brain. Dismissive, argumentative,
no, like
acoustic, everything for you.
Don't study her now. She's
like
one of the different people that we were talking about.
Yeah, that grabs
one time. And wait, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question now. Now
only two.
I'll ask you a question now.
Say what ask me what is
no, I want to ask you a question. And you think the both of his brain are the same?
Yes, now.
Your dreams.
She literally made her research. That's not what she did. She did her research and she's not.
I see they spit flows from their mouth. Just there they talk jargons. Or everybody is the same.
I made the smartest and finish.
This smartest. Continue.
Okay, so the dismissive, right? The dismissive also has the same thing with the anxious. Also has the same thing with the avoidant, right? So the same way the avoidant feels, like the dismissive may want a relationship, but then they are scared, like, does this person really love me? Let me just go. I don't think so. You know, they take their step back. There sometimes they are like, oh, I want love. Oh, but do you get? It's in between.
I'm more dismissive, yeah. I like relationships. I like love, yeah, but I start thinking because I'm an overthinker. I used to think too much.
Then the anxious attachment. Sorry. Yeah, no, I said avoidant, secure, dismissive, now anxious. Anxious attachment, they're very clingy, right? No one is the worst. The three are...
You said you know say this one worse, now why be
no? No. Three of them are unhealthy. The only healthy one is the secure attachment, right? The anxious attachment, they're very clingy. They tend to love fast. They tend to romanticize relationships, right?
Our kids look like this.
It's not their fault. They have the anxious attachment style.
Right? They crazy. That's the problem.
But I have a question after you finish.
Okay.
They really crazy.
So if you're having an argument with them, they want to settle it now. And when you give them distance, they feel like you're going away from them. When they have an argument, they want to be close to you at that time. And most times, the anxious and the avoidant attachment come together. They usually find themselves to date. And so you see the avoidant, they have an argument. The avoidant is running far away while the anxious is coming closer. So you see the anxious messaging you.
Now they talk opposite sides.
Hey, where are you? Let's talk. And the anxious is like, I can't do this right now. I just need to clear my head. And both of them are not understanding where they are coming from. Because the anxious is like, if you really like me, you will talk to me. The avoidance is like, I'm not even doing this. And the avoidance can just decide, I'm not doing this, and just ghost till thy kingdom come, right? Even if they like you. They will keep it inside them, but they will never tell you again. But the anxious can just be messaging you, why would you leave me after this and everything? And it stems from their childhood, right? So maybe the anxious attachment felt like they didn't really have, people were not really there for them, right? They didn't really get the love that they wanted, that they really wanted as a child, like maybe, and they are so scared that people are going to go. They are afraid of being alone. So they feel like, okay, people are going to leave them. And the avoidant attachment feels like people were never really in my life. I had to do things by myself. I had to hustle to get this. I had to do this to be here, right?
Yeah, and everything.
So my attachment style, I think, is the secured one. Maybe a little bit of the avoidant. I do have a little bit of avoidant because I really don't like to deal with bullshit.
And why should I even trust that this person is going to remain when even as young as I was, maybe my father could walk out on me, my mother could walk out on me. I didn't get that. Do you get? Then
my question is, my question is now, is it possible, you were talking about childhood traumas, yeah? Is it possible that as a child, like Sureboy, you got secure, you got a secure one, yeah, growing up as a child? Secure style now, like the secure attachment.
Okay, the first one.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
that's what I'm saying now. As Sureboy, you got secure attachments, growing up, and then you came to a place like Cyprus and you picked the other three for here. Is it still childhood? Because now you don't grow and be like 35, I'll be 40 for here.
Okay, yeah.
So is it possible to pick other ones along?
It's possible to switch.
But then it's not childhood.
Then it's not childhood trauma anymore. Then
no, attachment styles are not
preference.
Attachment styles are not childhood. But I said they stem from child, like they start.
Oh, okay. Is it possible to have two of it though?
Three, yeah. You have three, right?
No, Beverly has 4.
Oh, 4 of them.
Then you may go towards the dismissive, right? Because the dismissive, fearful attachment style has both the avoidant and the anxious. They have like a mixture.
No, this one we are talking about, you have 4, but girls, you take 1 or 2 alcohol.
It's possible.
You switch to 4.
Now multiple personalities.
You take something else. Bam.
Now what can they give you secure?
But I think I actually have multiple personalities though. Some days I want to hug on my boo and
No, this attachment.
Some days I just want to just not touch my body.
This is not multiple personalities. This is just attachment.
Now different therapies with that one.
No, I don't think it's time. I think it's a mood thing. There's some people that will be around you. Wake up in the morning, you want to kiss them. Some people will be around you when you wake up in the morning. Why do you want to kiss with your smelling mouth? True. Do you get?
But
I mean, it's trauma from the previous smell.
No, not trauma. I don't feel it's trauma. I feel like all this.
I wanted to ask.
I feel like all this depends on how much you love.
With these attachment styles, where does the whole love bombing, manipulation thing now comes in? Does that still? Because there are people like that where they feel like they don't know how to. They don't know how to intentionally care for somebody. All they know how to do is attach themselves to people for their own benefit. In a way, narcissists, those kind of people. So where does that come from? They attach themselves to people for their own personal benefit. They don't really care. They don't really give a shit about anybody.
None of the anxious one.
So no, that one is not anxious.
Personally,
I want to just
hungry.
No,
hungry scammer.
Personally, I'm not really sure, so I don't want to but I feel like it could be any, right? Because they have that one is a personality disorder first, right? It's not an attachment style, right? And they could have it could be anyone, right? But if I'm looking at it with this attachment style, I would think it's the anxious, but it may not be.
Okay, so I have a question, right? You said you researched these 4 styles, right? Did you search their?
Stop saying 4 styles, please.
That's what she said.
Showboy.
4 attachment styles.
Yeah, that's 4 attachment
styles, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Did you research the ones that are compatible?
Secure is the one everyone should be.
How do you now heal your childhood trauma and get to that point?
Yeah. Thank you. First, you need to acknowledge that you actually have childhood trauma.
No, that's
you
want to shove it down people's throats. That's why you start that one as number 1. Solve the problem if you can solve it. Don't tell anybody to accept.
Call my name for what? I don't say I don't get trauma. They call me.
Person doesn't don't get trauma.
I don't get trauma. The first trauma upon my life.
Let's talk about someone that has that is sick.
No, let me give an example of a problem, right? Because they said they have to accept the problem before we solve it. If there is no light here, I don't need to accept that there is no light. There is
That's
no light.
different.
You accepted. You know that there is no light. Based on your ego, right? You do not want to come out a certain type of way, right? So a man accepting that he has trauma makes his masculinity look lower than he thinks it is, right? And society has made men not to be able to express how they truly feel. Like you see a group of ladies, they can talk and discuss, this guy broke my heart, or I'm going through this, or I'm going through that. But you don't see that with guys. They don't sit down and actually discuss their problems. They just discuss things like, this football match, this thing. So when you tell them things about trauma, things that they have to discuss that about themselves, personal things, they wouldn't want to discuss that. So that's why you see a lot of men avoiding issues like this. The problem about it is they are not even ready to sit down and comprehend and ask themselves, do I actually have trauma? They just deflect immediately and deny it. That's the problem we have.
There's no light. I'm not. Okay. Listen. Right? Wait. No, I'm just trying to give you an example. I don't need to accept anything. If you can solve it, solve it. Don't tell me to accept anything.
But the fact that there's no light, you've already accepted.
No, I'm saying somebody's saying there's no light, right?
Someone else can say there's light.
Somebody can walk in here and not notice that there's no light. Doesn't mean there's no light. Mm-hmm. But then when the person is not aware that there's no light, they can now do the work to make light.
My question: so what would someone see, right, for them to notice or agree and accept
that they have trauma?
They have trauma
because you cannot tell somebody they write out for
you.
You know what? Tell me. Yes. And if it's true, I'll accept after trauma.
Same thing here.
If it's not true,
we did this for here.
So all the people on our agree say when I get.
You get trauma.
Yeah.
You have
trauma. Wait. You have
trauma.
Girls like anything.
Do you have trauma?
Yes.
Girls like anything we say go make them feel
big English.
I was victimized.
Yes.
I was.
That's not it. That's not acknowledging your past. It's not a weakness. Acknowledging your past is not a weakness.
So you are saying that because they beat people, it's a trauma.
You're a survivor, not a victim. We're survivors.
No, wait. Hold on. If they beat you for your family, you're not a survivor. Whatever I went through as a kid, and the way I was disciplined was due to my own and my own mistakes. Basically, my parents tried different ways. I was a very notorious boy, no vex. My parents tried different ways, from talking to beating to slapping to whatever. And I wouldn't consider myself as a survivor. I feel like I learned, I listened at the end of the day. So yeah, it's not survival. We know they do. It's not Titanic, right? We're not in Titanic here.
No, Titanic.
Wait till this up.
You're a
Survival.
I'm going to call my mother today. I tell my mother I want me to survive.
I
survive. Ivy, you tell me every time.
I survived that battle. What?
You are mental. You are mental. I enter my mother. Wait. I enter my mother's pot of soup and I stole 3 meat.
Yes, they beat me. Then I survived. Strong man.
I meant to have died.
And they took money, they slapped me.
I survived. I stole money, they beat me. I survived.
Maybe I don't know about babes. So babes, I think the problem is babes lie to themselves. So even when they do something, be like, no, I did not do it. Then they beat them. They will not say that I did not do anything.
Which one is babes?
They beat me.
Please,
because we just accepted that we stole meat. They beat us.
Do you understand?
And we accept it.
I know
I didn't raise you to steal me.
Nobody raised me. I'm a bad boy.
I feel like Sureboy is not a bad boy. He just says he is, but he's not.
What the hell? Nobody raised this. My boss no be arm robber now. Now me go learn am for somewhere gonna teach me.
Nobody needed to teach me. I was smooth.
Please tell them how they can acknowledge their childhood.
Oh yeah, talk with you.
Okay, so first you need to acknowledge that you have trauma, right? So for example, a trauma could be like you have.
No, wait. Sorry, before you go ahead.
Yeah.
Me, do like this. I'm sitting here facing this camera. How do you know I am traumatized?
Yes, look at
me like this. Is it because of I'm wearing white or I have dread?
Juju. First, we need to speak to you, right?
We are talking.
Can we talk? We've been talking.
We are talking.
No, it may not just be this, right? We may need to go back to find out issues that you had, right?
Because like this now, I know what you did.
Let me know.
Right.
Anymore, yeah?
So you can't just say, oh, this for everybody. Like you can actually be talking to me, then you actually realize, wow, that was actually traumatic. Like you will be the one to actually realize that, not just because we are sitting down here, right?
They don't beat me before I piss on top of my body. It was not traumatic. If I tell you what I did that day,
Chidera, it may not just be beating. It may not just be beating. Like there are different things that can traumatize people. For example, someone that has frequent mood swings, just here, now they are okay. Before you know it, they are upset. Next thing you know, they are sad. There's something that they are going through.
Sometimes, no, not that. See, somebody has mood swings like that. Let me tell you guys something here. I don't think I get mood swings. I'm temperamental. Hold on. I'm temperamental. But I'm happy. I'm very, very happy. And I'll be happy till the end of today. Tomorrow now I wake up thinking about a lot of stuff. It's something bothering me now. I have a bad way of pushing my anger to another person. Like now I'm angry about something. Now somebody else does something minor. Now I'm angry at you. Which is a bad thing. It's a bad thing I know now how to stop. Like a bad habit I have.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? But now I'm not saying trauma. I'm not saying I have trauma. I'm accepting. Are you guys listening?
No, it's not his trauma, but at least you're accepting that you have that bad habit.
Of course, now it's the same way we say we stole trauma now. Then yes,
this is when therapy is good. I'm not talking about
therapist. 1, 2, 3. Right now. No, I don't have no trauma. Like I said before, I'm trauma free. Very trauma free. When it comes to the aspect of life, I'm trauma free. Nothing is really stressing me.
No, that's nice because once you're able to accept it, you're able to do something about it.
Yes, that's what I'm telling you now. I have no trauma.
You stop. That's nice. I
have no trauma. Am I temperamental? Yes, I do. I know. Am I working on it? Yes, I am.
Where did you get your temper from then?
Where did I get my temper from?
Yeah.
It's what people are
I don't know.
And you can pick up something.
No. I wouldn't say I don't know. I don't talk about that here. I don't talk about that here now.
That's traumatic for him to pick up.
No. I have some stuff that's gone on in my life here. Personally, I'm like, okay, this one made me. No. I'm not going to agree. I'm not going to say that's trauma.
Because you don't want to
agree. No, I will not. I'm not about agreeing.
Okay.
Person talk saying no be
trauma, no trauma.
If he talk saying no be trauma,
please, I want to say something first. We can't like push people, right, to agree to anything or acknowledge anything. They need to go with their own time. I thank you at their own pace. Thank you so much. So
there's no pace here, my sister.
No problem.
I am not traumatized.
That's fine.
I'm not running to anywhere. I'm not walking to anywhere. I am not, and I repeat.
Then that's fine.
If you see me any day on news in future anywhere and I say I was traumatized by anything, sue me. I am not traumatized.
Okay.
I've never been.
No problem. Chile.
I will not be.
I'm not saying. I'm not.
All these girls. They're forcing on me.
No, you guys need to understand. Like, I'm not forcing anything. If you believe like you're
talk to them, they are forcing.
Talk to 2 of them, not me and Sureboy and Dudu.
Okay, so let's conclude. Okay.
Well, I am not traumatized, but I know according to the conversations we had today, I went through some of those things that we were talking about today, like, you know, being beaten as a kid compared to other people. But I wouldn't really say it's something that traumatized me or made me who I am now. I'm who I am because of who I am, basically.
So in conclusion,
I am not traumatized.
Okay, that's fine. So what have you learned about childhood trauma today?
That some people are traumatized, some people are not. That's what I learned.
I swear to God, bro.
Simple as ABC. Some people, what I learned today, some people are traumatized, some people are not. If you are traumatized,
like a lot of
yes, she survived. Me, I not survive anything.
Also, I feel like a lot of things we went through as kids were due to the decisions we made. Like, we just spoke about.
Our kids, you don't have any decisions.
No. Wait. I stole meat. They beat me.
Yes.
That's not traumatic to me.
Something wrong.
Okay, I want to conclude.
Next time we steal meat.
No.
I want to conclude and say something.
If you can chase the slap, collect 2 more meat.
I want to conclude and say something. First, I feel like people are like changing it or switching it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was definitely open to the idea that some people are going to deny it, because denying of trauma is actually a defense mechanism that a lot of people do when the trauma has been too much or too heavy for them to comprehend. So it's definitely something that you see with a lot of people. So denial is definitely, if they did not deny it, then really I would have thought something was wrong. So I'm very okay with that. First, something that was emotionally painful to you that has a physical or a mental effect at the end of the day, that could not be for you. It may not be right, but something you may have felt like, oh, I didn't get the proper love, or I felt discriminated. Childhood trauma is not just about they beat me or they did not beat me.
But we were talking about beating before, but anyway.
Yeah, we're talking about like.
Okay, it's different things. It really could be anything. For example, a child in Iraq, right? They've gone through childhood trauma when they experienced war. Do you get? So I'm not just talking about, like, let's not put it down to the minimum and say just a beat.
So you're saying that as kids, right? You can tell when you are emotionally.
Sometimes you may not even be able to tell.
You may not
know,
right? Yeah, you may not know.
Okay, that means you may not be able to tell.
You may not be able to tell until they start speaking to you. You realize, wow, I actually went through this.
And some can tell.
Have you ever realized that sometimes you tell your stories? Okay, maybe not you, but someone is telling their story of something that they went through, and people are just looking at them like, wow, you really went through a lot, and they're like, no, for me it's normal. They don't realize. Some people don't realize.
It's subjective now to everybody.
Thank you. It is. Yeah. It is. That's why we should not pick one thing.
Yeah, exactly. Because if, for instance, let's say Dudu complains that, for instance, that his trauma was the fact that they beat him so much for him being a goat. You understand? And me, they beat me and I liked it because you get my point. Like, it put me in the right. Yes, for real. Like, listen, you have a problem with it. No, let me explain. I didn't like it then. Did I cry? Yes. But I stopped what they wanted me to stop. Like, give an example. Yes, I did.
Like with me.
No. What I'm saying is, there's some things that they are telling you as a kid. Don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. We are still doing. If they give you one bang. Wait,
I'll ask you a question. I'll ask you a question. So, excuse me, I'll ask you a question. I'll ask you a very, very serious question. Your mom is Nigerian,
yeah?
When you go back to Nigeria today, do you have any piercing? Do you have a tattoo or something?
Yeah, I have piercing.
Do you have tattoos?
No.
Okay. So, if you go back home now, your mom says she doesn't like one of your piercing, take it out in front of her right now. Hold on. You start arguing with her right now. Normal Nigerian mother, she gives you better 5 on your face, hot slap. What you do about it? How do you know?
No, let's say she does it.
She does it. What you do?
I'm going to let her know that's not okay.
You let her know?
Yes.
She give you another one. What you do?
Oh.
You slap her back. You slap her back.
You like say you go give her back. Una follow me reason because it's not adding up.
This girl is someone that slap her back.
You just let your mom know that she can't just do something. Because, like with me, my own. No, to be honest, my own trauma came from that beating. That's why. That's why I've not been talking like that.
No, but I'm asking a question now, yeah. Beverly, you argue with your mom right now. She tells you this is your tattoo you got. She doesn't like it.
My mom already knows that.
I know, but I'm saying it's an instance. I'm giving you an instance now.
It's Beverly.
She said even if you have how many tattoos, my mom still doesn't like it, but she's tired of talking about it. So let it be. I'm saying now you go home now. Your mom says you doesn't like this tattoo you got. Why did you get it? You argue with her. She slaps you the first time. What you do?
Nothing. I'll just tell her not to do it again.
You tell her, and she gives you another one.
She can't even give me another one.
It's an instance now.
That's what I'm saying. It can't. For you to get an instance, you have to let her now hit you the second time. She can't.
So you don't let her hit you the second time?
No, why?
You hold her hand.
Why? Because that was what gave me my trauma in the first place.
Would you hold her hand?
Yes.
You punch her face.
That's what gave me the trauma in the first place.
What do you do to her?
I'm going to hold her hand.
Okay, so she tries to drag her and stab you.
Why would I start fighting my mom?
Okay, so we need to conclude.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I feel like they don't want to accept it. I don't know. Maybe it's that masculinity, ego shit that's going on.
Okay, in conclusion, childhood trauma is any event that happened in your childhood that is emotionally painful and can have a physical or a mental effect. Right? Okay, so I'm going to give like instances of how.
Hold on, can you cut please? Cut. Sorry.
When I don't even get this joke, but people will watch them.
They go get that.
If you talk saying they
Okay, Judith, I think I only have one reaction. What's your reaction? They all do need therapy. They do.
Look, men, not set for less. Women are beneath you. They are not equal to you.
When we say your wife,
you hear me? They will stay your wife. It's not like equality.
Yeah.
You have more money than your woman. You tell her shut up, she shut up. You tell her to jump, she jump.
Personally, I feel like people who say things like what they are saying right now probably don't have the balls to do a lot of the things they are saying. So it's more like too much talk, no action.